just like I said it 3 other times. If I go to bed and I shower before bed and I put on clean clothes 5 days a week, how often do you really need to wash your sheets? That's a genuine question. I'm curious. And 4 times a year isn't enough. Dude, I swear, man. Man, it is 7 p.m. and I'm ready to frick, dude. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of the Juicebox Podcast. Brother, I'll tell you something. I am showered, shaved, and ready to misbehave, if you know what I mean. Oh, dude, we're back at it again for another episode of TJB. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm so sorry for the 4 of you that listen. I did not put out an episode last week because hello finals, hello getting back from the Freedom State. Brother, it was hectic, to say the least. And I'll tell you, I wasn't having it, bro. I wasn't having any entertainment vibes. Also, it is 7 o'clock when I'm recording this. What does that mean, Joe? That means that everyone makes all of the noise in my apartment complex. By the way, how about this? For the people who live near me and have loud cars, they are just testing my limits and flooring it anytime they leave at any time of the day. Oh, it's 2 in the morning? I hear a fucking Camaro. 2 in the morning, just down my street, brother. I'm so mad. So mad, dude. It's unbelievable. Why do people still do that? I mean, like, we have gotten to the point now where everyone knows that flooring your car, if it has an exhaust on it, is like cool the first time you get the car, right? But after a week, and this is just me, right? And look at my shirt, bro. My shirt says I have a small dong. But I stopped doing that in fucking high school. You know what I mean? Like, what are we doing here? This is ridiculous. This is madness. This is bad for me. Bad for my ears. What if we got a lady walking her baby down the freaking sidewalk and freaking little dick Johnny peels out around a corner and now the kid is freaking traumatized because of a fucking small engined loud vehicle? Oh, dude. It's always like the drop top Mustangs that are like 4-cylinder. That just rev the engine, and they did so much to make the car sound cool, but it's still 4-cylinder. Oh, dude. You freaking dork, man. Unbelievable. Oh, all right. So, yeah, man, we're here again. I got my legs crossed. I just got out the shower. You feel me, bro? And here's the thing. I never really shower right before I record. Like literally no BS, about 30 seconds before you heard me initially speak, my balls were still wet. And actually in the crevice, like if I were to whip my pants down right now and just walk up to the camera, dude, and zoom in or something on my hog, you could still see some droplets, I bet, because it still feels a little moist in there. And it's uncomfortable, you know? That's how what's chafing actually? Wait, now I'm curious. What is chafing? Because I don't know what that is, and I don't know if that's from like when your undercarriage is still moist and then you put your clothes on and then you go, or if it's when it's really dry and rubbing against each other, right? What is chafing? Chafing is a common skin problem caused by any combination of friction, moisture, and irritating fabric. Prolonged rubbing on the skin makes your skin sting, burn, and you might develop a mild red rash. Well, I don't have any irritation. I just have a rash. You know what I mean? In severe cases, chafing will include swelling, bleeding, or crusting. Yikes, dude. Oh my God. That's really gross. That's actually so gross, dude. You know what? I will say, dude, how about we talk about my freaking hygiene, right? Really quick. So, hygiene has been something that I have taken very seriously. You know, the past about month or so, and I'm 26. So, like, no, I'm kidding. But I get really self-conscious about my hygiene, actual, like my body odor. Oh my God. It got to the point too sometimes where like if I would get home from work, now obviously, you know, I do what I do and it's a very active job. So I'm going to be sweating. If it's hot outside, I'll sweat, and then I come home from work and then I go to the gym. It got to a point where I was so self-conscious about my body odor that I would need to shower before the gym, shower after the gym, and then shower before I went to work in the morning. I was showering 3 times a day. And that's like, Joe, water waster? Or ever heard of a drought? Or, you know what I mean? So I would shower that often because I was so worried that I smelled bad, you know, and I would put deodorant on. So it got to a point, right, where I would go to the gym after having showered, right? I shower, go to the gym, I put deodorant on, I wash my balls, right? Because you got to get the gooch, dude. You have to get the gooch. Okay, let me ask this question really quick. And this is like serious. This is a serious question that I'm genuinely curious about. To any guys, if you're like sweating and you just went like for a run or you just got back from the gym and then you go sit on your couch really quick, you turn the TV on and like, you know, as guys, we'll stick our hands in our pants and just, you know, get some action on our own because who do we really have? But you stick your hand down there and then like, you know, you take your hand out of your pocket, you under your pants, take your hand out of your pants and then you like set it down and then you like have like this moment where you just stare at that hand. You stare at it and then you pull it close to your face just to analyze what you've just touched after it had been sweaty, aka your gooch. And then you just go, you smell it, dude, right? I don't do that, right? Who would? If you do that, you're a weirdo, right? No, I don't be doing that. But do people do that? Like, do you guys do that? Because, all right, I'm kidding. Sometimes I be doing that shit, but it's rare though, right? But anyways, what I was saying is that I used to be so worried about my hygiene, and now I just don't really care that much. You know what I mean? And it's not like I'm letting myself go, right? Who's gonna let themselves go? Not me. Okay. Now, there's a difference between letting myself go and not really caring too much. Okay. I actually think there's a difference between a person who lets themselves go and a person who thinks that they should have a level of freedom when it comes to what they consume, right? So, for example, a person who lets themselves go could be in like a state of depression, or they legitimately are way too busy. They got kids, they have 2 jobs, you know, this and that. And then like all of a sudden 5 years has gone by, because let's be honest, 5 years goes by like that. So, you know, if you're like that kind of person, that's one thing. But if you're a person who has no responsibilities, or I shouldn't say no responsibilities, but no kids, or like an actual career job, right? If you work at like a Starbucks and you're like a part-time student or something, and then you go home and you watch anime and you let yourself go, that's a problem, right? But for me, I mean, dude, I went to the last week on my busy week, I went to the gym from Sunday to Friday. And after doing that, I was like, I'm going to fucking eat whatever I want. Okay. Because I'm active still. And I think that if you are normally or like generally active as a human being, you know, like you take some time out of your day to do whatever activity that involves movement and not to be sedentary, like I think it's fair and it's valid that you would deserve to like be a little bit free with what you consume. Now, that's my perspective. Other people will say, like, there's people out there who don't believe in like a cheat day, and I don't necessarily believe in a cheat day either. I believe in a cheat meal, and those are 2 very different things, right? And I don't even know where the hell I got. Letting yourself go, right? So I don't know why I went on such a rabbit hole with that, but I think that definitely two different things, letting yourself go and being free with yourself in terms of like, because it's more of like an aspect of I have put in work, so why not just pay it off a little bit, you know? Some freedom, dude. How about that? It's more of it's a healthier way to go about it for sure. Because okay, you worked for whatever your cheat is going to be, right? What's that called? Guilty pleasure. You worked for whatever your guilty pleasure is, I guess, if that's how you want to say it, in terms of meals. I think it's way better, it's way healthier, and you're less likely to lose yourself or, yeah. But I've been seeing all this shit, dude. Like, I just saw that picture that's trending of that supermodel, or I don't even know if she's a supermodel. She's on the cover of Sports Illustrated, right? And that is like, I don't really know how to feel about plus size models. And I mean that in like here's the thing, bro. If I see a model, right, and it's a plus size model, I'm like, what are we doing here? Because this isn't like, there's a standard beauty and a standard model, and people who have been supermodels, they sacrifice a lot of shit, dude. They sacrifice their bodies. Honestly, that's all it is. And I think that it's like really unfair to those women that do that. Because like, imagine being a supermodel for your whole life in the past 20 years, right? You put your body through so much stress to maintain this figure that is idolized by everyone. Everyone worships that body style. And then all of a sudden, you have freaking Debbie freaking whatever burritos, you know, freaking Sandra Burritos is over here on the cover of Sports Illustrated, and then she gets done with the shoot, and then she goes back home and eats fucking taquitos, and then watches anime. Like what? How? What are we doing now? I don't understand that. And I don't know, man. It's just, yeah. Obviously, I'm just talking shit, but I actually feel that way though. Like, I think that's the same shit goes for trans people in sports. Like, you can't turn into a trans woman and compete with women. It doesn't make sense because it's so unfair to the women who have been competing their entire lives to be where they're at, you know? So I just think it's a crock of shit, honestly. Like, how about this? When are we going to see a plus size or a fat man be a model on the cover of Sports Illustrated or Men's Health? That's what we need, dude. To make it even, if that's how they're going to play it, if they're going to put a plus size woman on the cover of Sports Illustrated, then next week I better see fucking fat guy. I better see Bert Kreischer on the cover of Men's Health next week. Literally, like, that's what it is. That's exactly what they're doing. You know what I mean? So just take that as that is, right? It's so fucking ridiculous, dude. I can't believe it. And I'm not like, you know, I'm a hater for certain things, and I don't give a shit about Sports Illustrated, although I did just hang up my Sports Illustrated poster of FaZe Clan. Shout out Nick Merck, Swag, Rug, and all those other people of color. You know, I don't really give a fuck, but when I saw it, I was like, I mean, why are they doing this though, you know? It's like when Victoria's Secret put that Down syndrome girl on they put her out into the world as a Victoria's Secret model, and it's like, well, you're sexualizing a person with Down syndrome. Are they fully aware that that's what's going on? And I'm not like diminishing the knowledge of a person with Down syndrome, because quite frankly, I don't know anything about Down syndrome. Let's just be honest. I've seen plenty of videos about people with Down syndrome on TikTok, and they're pretty fucking hilarious. But you know what I mean, though? Like, if you have a person with Down syndrome and they just so happen to be the most vanilla case of Down syndrome, and don't get me wrong, dude, that girl, whatever her name is, the one with Down syndrome as Victoria's Secret model, she's very pretty. Like, she is extremely pretty. But at the same time, though, like, are they fully aware of what people are going to say about them on the internet? And then, like, could that be detrimental to their outlook on life after the fact? Because as far as I know, they're coherent, and a lot of them are actually very smart, but I don't know if that means that all of them are, is that going to manipulate the way their brain functions after seeing all of this stuff about them on the internet? I just think it's wild, dude. I think it's absolutely wild. And whatever, here I am, freaking, they call me Tangent Joey Tangent, bro. How about that? Oh, brother. So anyways, got back from Texas a week ago, and I had to get everything straightened out for my finals. And then, so I'm done with school now for the summer, which is freaking amped. Can't believe I'm saying that as a 26-year-old. But whatever, it's all good, bro. Let me rip my jewel really quick. That's the good shit. What did I miss? Oh, yeah. Back to the hygiene really quick. Oh, dude. Joey Tangent on one again, man. Oh, geez. These past couple, I got to be honest. Now let me finish up the fucking hygiene part really quick. Okay. Here's one thing too. So like what I was saying about, showering before the gym. I don't know what it is, man. I'll go to the gym, right? And then I will have showered before. I will put deodorant on, and when I get to the gym, I still feel like I smell. And what I said earlier was that you have to wash the gooch, because in certain positions at the gym, your gooch is spread wide open and you just catch a whiff. And if no one knows what I'm talking about right now, then that is so embarrassing. I mean, what the hell, dude? I can't believe this. But, this is the number one podcast of putting Joey Juice, all up in them cheeks Joey, Short Stroke King Joey on blast, I'm steady put my shit on blast for sure. And that's fine. But for real, though, I think last week, dude, it definitely was last week. Why? Because I went to the gym every fucking day. So I go to the gym last week. Oh, by the way, that showering before the gym, that was a couple years ago. I don't do that shit anymore unless I really have to. But when I went to the gym last week, I had a pretty sweaty day at work, all right? And when I sweat at work, my balls get sweaty. And when my balls get sweaty, they get hot and moist and gross, right? Is this too much, man? Are you driving to work with your kid in the back seat? I hope so, because they're going to learn about this eventually. So I got hot, and this and that at work. I come home, I change, and then I go to the gym, and I start doing deadlifts, okay? Deadlifts add to the sweat. So at this point, I'm home from work. I'm dried up down there, right? But earlier I was sweating. Now I go to the gym to re-sweat it up, you know what I mean? So I start doing deadlifts, and what do I do in between my sets? In between my sets, I got to rest, so I sit down. My guy, I sat down, and a whiff of mothballs just came up my nostrils, battled through my nose hairs, and just crept up into my brain, sending a signal to my brain saying, holy shit, Joe, you need to wash your balls now. And I don't mean go home. I mean, you need to go to the bathroom and then fucking scrub these cojones, Dude, it was so gross, man. I couldn't believe it. Dude, it was disgusting. But that's what I mean is, like, after I caught a whiff, I straight up had to, when I was done deadlifting, I was like, I'm going to be so in my head about this that if someone walks by me, I feel like they're going to smell me. And I'm still new at this gym. I cannot have people walking by me saying, oh, that's Joey Stinks, And that's not my name. My name isn't Joey Stinks. My name isn't Joey Sweaty Balls. No. People don't call me that yet, but they will. And maybe they do. I can't read their minds, but I'm Joey Juice. All up in them cheeks, Joey. I can't be the new guy at my gym and my balls smell, right? I just can't be having that. I got a questionable reputation as it is. And the last thing I need is for people to know instantly that my gooch stinks. No way, dude. No stinky gooches. Not allowed, bro. It's not allowed. Wash your gooch. Seriously. And when I say wash your gooch, I mean get in there with the loofah. Oh, you don't use a loofah? Bro, how about people who don't use loofahs, dude? What? How do you shower? You wash with your hand? Dude. What? Dude, there like legitimately there's people in the world that don't use a loofah. And people might have mixed feelings about this because I think I might have talked about this before actually. It's kind of starting to ring a bell. But people will use their hand to wash their skin. And I understand that if you're using like barred soap, but it's 2022 and who the fuck still uses barred soap, okay? So with that being said, if you don't use a loofah, I feel like you're kind of gross, you know? Because with the loofah, people will say like, oh yeah, but you're just like re-washing yourself with the filth that's on the loofah. And it's like, okay, hold on a second. Because what do you use to wash dishes? A fucking sponge, right? And that sponge is filled with the residue from the plates or bowls, whatever you cleaned, and you use that sponge for probably a few weeks. You know what I mean? And that could be called gross, I guess, but that's the same fucking thing, and you eat off of that. You're eating it. That's not even washing your body. It's totally different. So it's worse, actually. So for people who say, you know, washing your body with a loofah is gross because it has contaminants that you're trying to get rid of off of your body. Oh, dude, why is Siri going off, dude? You fucking bitch. I was flowing and you fucked me. Oh my God. So, yeah, people will be like, if you use a loofah, it's gross because you're reusing the contaminants that you're removing from your body or that you're trying to remove from your body. And it's like, okay, but there's soap on it though. And then when I'm done with the loofah, I squeeze the shit out of it. And then after like 2 or 3 weeks, I get a new one. What are we talking about here? With a loofah, I can dig in my gooch and get all the shit out. Now that sounded weird how I said that. I'm not saying that I'm not Joey Poo Poo Gooch. No Joey Poo Poo Gooch. No, none of that. I meant like, you know, the sweat and the fucking the mold and the spider webs that are under there sometimes. Actually, no, I don't have spider webs in my gooch anymore. When I was single, I did for sure. Spider webs, fucking roaches, mold. I mean, all that was in my gooch. But ever since I got into a relationship, I can't be having that. You know what I mean? So I had to clean it up with my loofah. And then I used that same loofah for a couple weeks and shit. And then I got a new one. But you have to loofah in the shower. I mean, you have to. And you could use a rag at best, like a washcloth, right? I mean, hands. You're using hands to wash your body? I mean, what are we doing here, you know? What is this, man? Oh, by the way, okay, really quick. Wait, was there one more thing that I wanted to say? God damn it. Joey all over the place. Joey over the map. Have you guys seen this fucking trend on TikTok about the Sprite? And if who can chug it and not burp? Okay, well, I have a Sprite right here, and I'm going to try it. I have a Sprite bottle, and I guess there's this thing going around where if you drink it, you got to try and not burp. And the amount of videos that I've seen of girls try this trend, and then they don't burp, and by not burping, they just rip a extremely loud fart. Funniest shit I've ever seen in my entire life. Because, quite frankly, up until about 3 weeks ago when I first saw a girl do this trend, and she ended up farting, blew my mind. I found out that girls shit and now I find out that they fart. Are you kidding me? You seriously do learn something new every day, and even when you're 26, you know? This is crazy. So, all right, crack the Sprite. Now we're just going to freaking get it. Going to try and not burp. This is so stupid. I'm not even going to be able to chug, bro. When I chug cold stuff, my throat hurts, but here we go. Had to take a break. I'm about halfway. Oh my God. The trick is to just fucking exhale. I'm almost there. Holy fuck, this hurts. Are my eyes watering? I look like fucking Lisa Ann right now. I got Riley Reid eyes. My eyes watering right now. Oh my god, I almost choked. Oh fuck. My stomach is killing me right now. How much sugar is this shit? No burp. I think I'm gonna throw up. Oh my god. No bullshit. I actually thought I was just about to throw up because of like the pressure inside my stomach. Oh fuck. Holy fuck, man. Yo. Oh, dude. What's that fucking scene in Elf where he fucking burps and he goes, "Did you hear that?" Oh my god. Straight up, dude. Okay, I'm not gonna look it up because I can't fucking type. Dude, okay. For a person who doesn't drink soda very often, that was absolutely terrible. I mean, I'd rather fucking have my scrotum stomped on by a girl wearing a fucking stiletto, you know? That hurt my stomach so much, unbelievably, and I had no... Dude, the thing about, like, you know, the worst thing about being in your early 20s was getting Smirnoff iced by your friends. And chugging that fucking Sprite just gave me PTSD from that. I mean, I cannot chug a Smirnoff Ice for the life of me. Like, if somebody came up to me on the street and pointed a gun at my forehead and said, "Chug this Smirnoff Ice," I would say, "Brother, just do us both a favor and just take me out," because I can't do it. My throat game is trash. You know what I mean? I can't sustain that gulp. I just can't do it. It burns. And literally what I used to do back in the day was when I would get Smirnoff Ice and I'd try my hardest to chug the entire thing in one gulp or like one sip or whatever, in my brain, I'm just like, pain is temporary, you know? It's like how I got through that time I got pegged. Unbelievable, dude. Unbelievable. Holy shit. I almost needed to like stop the recording after that, but Jesus. I wouldn't recommend that. I would not recommend that one bit. One more Joel rip for the boys really quick. Oh my God, my stomach hurts so bad. Oh dude, by the way, I just ate some fucking chicken and I think it was bad. Your boys' bubble guts were destroying the toilet. Hiroshima #2, dude. Unbelievable. It was like one of those where you squirt it out. Oh, dude. Hey, by the way, to get back to that scratching your gooch and smelling it, if you're a guy, leave it in the comments. I want to know if I'm alone on that because, you know, I think that that's very weird. But like I do it though. So I'm just curious. I want to know if you're a guy, you get home from the gym and you're sweating and shit and you sit on your couch, you turn the TV on and you just casually just happen to stick your hand in your pants and then you take it out, right? And then you set it down and then you look at it. You make eye contact with your hand, right? Your dick beater. And then you just kind of bring it over your face and, you know, I mean, dude, I can't be the only guy that does this, right? I mean, it's a guy thing. Is it not? Dude, that's the thing. If it's not a guy thing and I'm just saying that and I'm the only person, so embarrassing. Oh, unbelievable. I can't believe the shit that I say on this podcast sometimes. Unreal. Oh, dude. So I need to talk to you guys about. So I remember my neighbors, who used to live here, right? Man, well, okay. How about this? The people who live below me, they were a family, right? They were a family, and I didn't necessarily have the best relationship with them. And I've only lived here for a month and a half now, actually. And we kind of got off on the wrong foot because of whatever. And dude, they just like all of a sudden moved. I no goodbye, no freaking nothing. I just went to work one day, came home, their blinds were open. They never were open. They were open, the house empty. And I was like, fuck yeah, dude. And then, I got a letter in the mail probably from them, and it was like, listen, sir, we had to move because we couldn't handle listening to 30 seconds of rough sex every night. And I was like, dude, that is a backhanded compliment if I've ever heard one in my entire life, I couldn't believe it. It was unreal. I took that to heart, and I was like upset about it. So fuck them, And by the way, they moved out, and the next day other people moved in. But here's the thing. I think that I contributed to them moving out, like legitimately. They didn't actually write me a letter. That was actually cap. They didn't do that. But how funny would that be, though? So, dude, I'm still like recovering from this Sprite. So they move, right? They're gone. And then the next day, a new group of people are in there now. I think it's another family and shit. But I feel like I probably contributed to them moving out because every time I would record this podcast and talk all the shit about him, remember? Because I've talked shit about him for sure. Every time I would record, where my podcast studio is like right above their dining room, okay? And I would record usually during like dinner time. So they probably heard me say all this shit about him. Dude, how funny would that be if that was the reason? So we'll see what happens with these new people. I haven't met them really, but I don't really care to either. And I've decided that I'm going to start keeping track. Like, let's say these people move out pretty soon. I mean, I'm just going to keep track of how many people I can get to move out with this fucking podcast and all the shit that I talk. Dude, I don't fucking care, man. These people who live here, fucking rude. They're so shitty. And I wish that I lived in like a youthful community, They're all fucking old people. They're rude and Indian. And I don't have anything against Indian people. How many times do I got to say this? But it's the people who live around me that are fucking rude. And it sucks. And it makes me so mad. Because, dude, when I was getting ready to move in here, I was like, oh, man, this is going to be so dope. I'm going to make so many friends with my neighbors. They're going to be so cool. And then they're going to hecka like me, right? And then, no, it just didn't go that way. It didn't go that way at all. Pissed. Super mad. Guys, I'm going to go to the bathroom really quick because I'm having a hard time recovering. I think I need to go throw up. BRB. All right, guys, I'm back. Sick with it. Dude, all right, I have a rec for you guys. I have a freaking Netflix recommendation for y'all, brother. So there is a documentary that came out called Our Father, and it's about a doctor from Indianapolis. And over the course of like the 70s and the 80s, he was a doctor that was highly recommended to help people who were suffering from like infertility issues. And people, like married couples or whatever, would go visit him and tell them their situation. And they would say like, hey, we can't get pregnant. Like his sperm doesn't work, or my eggs aren't working or whatever. So then they would look for donors. So they look for donors, and the doctor's office says that we are going to try and match whichever parent, or they're going to try and find somebody who looks like the parent that can't produce, whether it's the sperm or the eggs. So this girl, now in present day, this girl takes one of those DNA tests, like 23andMe or whatever, and she notices that it starts off with her realizing that she was the only one in her family who had like different color hair or whatever and different color eyes and such. So she was curious. So she asked the parents like, hey, was I adopted, this and that, whatever. The parents said, we used a donor for you because of something. And so she takes a DNA test, and then it comes out that on the website that she was finding out her information on, she had like 8 half siblings, and that was like raising some freaking eyebrows to her. So she started questioning stuff and then falls down this rabbit hole. I mean, I'm going to give some stuff away, but I would definitely still go watch it because there's like a bunch of shit in there. Long story short, this documentary, this girl starts questioning something about, you know, who her real dad was and this and that. So the girl's parents tell her that she came from a donor, right? So then she starts figuring out that a lot of the people in her area are connected somehow. And this is somewhere in Indianapolis, or I guess Indianapolis. And she starts like finding that she's like somewhat connected to all these people, blah, 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 blah. And all of them went to this Dr. Klein for infertility, like the parents did. So it fucking turns out that Dr. Klein was telling the parents they were finding donors for them. He would go into his office, jerk the snake into a vial, and use his own sperm and injected it into the women. Dude, how fucking unbelievable is it? I mean, one of the craziest things I've ever seen in my entire life. So the girl who is like the head of all the children, the siblings is what they call them in the documentary. All these people become connected because of the one girl who started it all, like started all of it to try and find everyone. And as more people just casually, randomly started taking their DNA tests, they were figuring out all the rest of the siblings that there could potentially be. I mean, to think that a doctor, like, dude, this doctor had to have missed several ethic meetings. I mean, how fucked in the head do you gotta be to tell parents suffering from infertility problems that you're gonna find them a donor who looks like one of the parents, and then you go use your fucking sperm in the other room? They said that in order for the sperm to actually work, it would have had to have been fresh and kept warm for not that long. So a lot of them were under the impression that he was going into his office, beaten off, come back, and then do the process. What the fuck? I mean, it was unbelievable. And the amount of people that he did that to, 92. Dude. Hey, 92 siblings there were. And this motherfucker was like a respected citizen in his town. People respected him. He was a part of the church in their area. And it came out that the reason he did this was because of some piece of scripture from the Bible. And I don't know what the phrase was, but basically saying that like he was kind of like trying to create his own race. Essentially what this is in layman's terms, I guess we could say, he was trying to spread his bloodline and create his race and make sure that after he's passed on, his race and his bloodline will live on forever. I mean, dude, he was going to be the next Genghis Khan. You know what I mean? Like Genghis Khan, the fucking dude from Mongolia or whatever, the amount of people who are related and in the same bloodline as Genghis Khan, due to how much that guy fucked back in the day, is astronomical. Like, I'm actually curious on that statistic. Let me look it up on my phone. I mean, it's crazy, dude, because Genghis Khan is like, literally, he could be like a modern day Genghis Khan. I mean, think of how much of an impact 92 people will have in the future in terms of the same bloodline. That's fucking unbelievable. And in this county or whatever, when people were finding out that their dad was in fact the doctor, like their biological father turned out to be the doctor, in the same town, that many people, you have to be careful with who you raw dog, you know? Otherwise, you're giving birth to a kid with 4 eyes. Let's see. Genghis Khan. Blood. Why don't we just do bloodline? An international group of geneticists studying Y chromosome data have found that nearly 8% of the men living in the region of the former Mongol Empire carry Y chromosomes that are nearly identical. That translates to 0.5% of the male population in the world, or roughly 16 million descendants. Dude. And this is on National Geographic, bro. I mean, what the fuck, man? 16 million, roughly 16 million descendants living today related to or like a part of that Genghis Khan bloodline. That is fucking unbelievable, dude. So crazy, man. I can't even comprehend that. I just think it's fucking wild. And for the people who, for the children of this doctor, like, I can't even fathom that feeling of going your entire life. These people are finding this out in their 30s, which is crazy, dude. 30s, 40s, you know? You go your whole life thinking that the man you grew up with is your biological father, to then not only finding out that they used a donor, but, or father or mother, because, you know, whoever was infertile, but like to go your whole life thinking that you were raised by these two people who are your biological mother or father, to finding out that your actual biological father is a scumbag doctor who wanted to spread his bloodline. That, I don't even know how I would feel after that. I mean, that is the craziest shit I've ever witnessed. Dude, I mean, I just told a lot about it, but there's so much that I left out. I would recommend that shit so hard. Oh my God. Unbelievable. Like one of the craziest stories I think I've ever heard in my entire life. Think of how shitty of a person you got to be. And dude, the worst part about that doc is that the girl, you know, has all this information. She's meeting all these people. Everyone's took their DNA test, and it all links back to that doctor. She tries to contact news outlets, the fucking government, you know, the board of doctors. No one is reaching out to her. Like, no one responds to her. Everyone just turns their back, this and that. And they go to the attorney general and try to get his information and see if like there's anything he can get the doctor on. And they want the children, the siblings, they want to like file some kind of thing regarding rape, which by the way, I 100% agree with. Like, you know what I mean? Without consent, and there's so much talk about consent these days, and it's pretty fucking important, but like that is crazy different level. Like that's a different ball game, dude. It's I can't even comprehend how like unethical it is as a doctor to be to have your own practice and do that with no consent to benefit, and it's not even to like instant gratification benefit him, you know? Like it's not, there's no reward other than you die, and then people who are your biological children, they live on, you know, and then spread the blood or whatever. I mean, that's in itself just fucking ridiculous and stupid. Like, what the last thing I care about is keeping my bloodline going. Like, I don't fucking care that much. I don't, dude. The thing is that, literally that, I don't care to spread my bloodline, aka have children, enough to where I would need to be a doctor and fucking tell people I'm going to get you a donor and then I use my own jizz and put it in them without their knowing. Yeah, right, dude. I would rather my bloodline just die with me, you know? Like, fuck that, dude. Oh. And then, so they go to the attorney general. They're trying to pin the doctor for rape. And the attorney general's like, well, I'm not going to do that. This isn't considered rape, yada, yada, yada. And it's all fucking bullshit. And the only thing they get him on was they received statements from the doctor. And at some point, the doctor, after he had already said something, later retracted a statement that he made and lied about something. The attorney general was able to get him for that. Not for anything he did with the women by injecting his semen into them. No, not any of that. But he lied to the state. So he lied to the state, gets in trouble for that, but nothing involving all the women that he violated. So so he goes to court, and they go to court strictly because he lied to the state. And he gets let off because he's a respected member of his community. He has a big part in the church. He's a great doctor for decades, you know? People only know him as this fucking this loving and Christian guy, right? He gets let off and has to pay $500. Dude. What? Oh my God. And this guy is still alive and living free in his 80s somewhere in Indianapolis. It's so crazy, dude. Like the anger that I had, honestly, I had more disbelief than anger. I mean, to be quite frank, you can't, in this day and age, like it's so common for people to just not receive justice, you know? Where's fucking Batman when you need him, dude? Oh, man. It really is like one of the most mind-blowing fucking documentaries I've ever seen. And recently, too. And there's another documentary that's coming out, and it's about like gender equality, fucking gender neutral shit. And I wish I had that TikTok. I didn't save it, but oh my God. When it comes out on the 1st. Actually, on next week's episode, I'll play a clip of it. Because, dude, it's so funny how this guy's going around and he's like interviewing people on the street about like gender shit. And he just catches them off guard with just such logical questions and they can't fucking answer it. It's so stupid because like when they are caught with just like the most reasonable explanation on something and they just hate how reasonable and logical it sounds, dude, they're caught with their fucking pants down. It's so funny. Oh my God. Whatever, man. Anyways, I just gave away the whole premise of that documentary, but I still would suggest watching it because you should get rage from that. And look, dude, I don't even want to go down that rabbit hole. I'm going to say something about abortion because we know that that's been the hot topic the last couple of weeks. And I think, you know what's funny, dude, is like when you see a topic trending on the internet, right? Like it's so hot in its peak, and that peak lasts for like 4 or 5 days tops, and then it's done, dude. It's so crazy. And then like people just forget about it, or they don't forget about it, but it becomes less and less relevant because at the end of the day, let's be real. Like if there's an issue going on in the world, by the way, people can think whatever the fuck they want about abortion, whatever. I don't give a shit because it doesn't really matter to me as a person. Like they're going to do them. Yada, yada, yada. That's it. Not my chair, not my problem. That's how I go about life, bro. Seriously. But you can't... Here's the thing about today's world. There's a small percentage of people who are willing to debate anything. That's it. There's this very tiny percentage of people who are willing to actually debate on stuff. And then there's the majority who are willing to just not do that and just yell out of emotion, right? And I get it with something like abortion or whatever. You know, I get that emotion would take over in that situation, but, you know, it's just not the right way to go about shit, you know? And don't get me wrong, man, I've been passionate and I've been emotional with things that I've argued over, like who hasn't, but it's just, you don't get anywhere. It's all it is you just fight, argue. And in reality, you need to understand that whoever you're preaching to, they are not hearing what you're saying. And if they are, they're hearing it to collect ammo to shoot back at you. Like, that's all it is. They're not paying attention to what you're saying, so don't even try. People who don't want to have their minds challenged and actually think for themselves, and this isn't about abortion, this is just in general. Like, if you waste your time trying to convince somebody about something who's generally going to be a person that's like, I don't really care what you have to say, but go on so that I can just fire back off of you with no facts, right? You're wasting your time. Like, just don't do it because it's pointless. As long as you know what you know and as long as you believe what you believe, fine. And until you can find a person who is actually willing to hear your side and then debate about why they think you're wrong, or maybe even sometimes validate things that you say and you open a new perspective to them, don't waste your time. Seriously. It's just such a waste of energy and it's so bad for you. It's so draining. Like, why would you want to do that? The amount of times I'm on TikTok and Twitter where I want to just, I'll literally have like a whole tweet typed out and I'm like, you know what, dude, it's really not worth it. Because then I got to get into this back and forth that no one's going to learn anything from. It's just fucking ridiculous, you know? Yo, how about, I can't believe this Johnny Depp shit's still going on, man. This is crazy. It's been like a couple weeks now. But that fucking bitch Amber Heard goes on trial and just rips herself a new one, you know? Leave it to the quote-unquote victim to just rip herself a new asshole, right? I mean, how do you go up there and just suck all the dicks in front of everyone, dude? Like, what? I can't believe this bitch, man. I swear to God. I mean, look, dude. Oh, man. I'm going to say this. I mean, she just did so bad for herself on that stand. You know, she's breaking down. She's fucking fake crying. Like, if you're going to use any kind of acting you've ever used, at least do good acting. You know what I mean? Unbelievable, dude. You know what? I will say this, too. Say what you will about dating Latinas. I've made jokes. They'll stab you in your sleep. They got mustaches and shit, right? But you know what Latinas won't do? They won't fucking shit in your bed. You know what I mean, dude? Like, could you imagine coming home from work, long day, you're sweating, your gooch is itchy, and you get in your bed and you find a fucking turd? Ew, dude. Oh my God, I would rather come home and get stabbed, actually, than go in my bed and find a fucking human turd from my girlfriend. These white bitches are crazy, man, dude. Oh, jeez. It's unbelievable, man. Oh my God. It's so funny. And I mean what I said, too, about how they, you know, like when all this shit came out and Johnny Depp was like just kicked off of Pirates of the Caribbean for good before anything even came out. Can you imagine how fucking dumb Disney feels? Because the ball's in Johnny's court now, you know? And from what I said a couple episodes ago, where if they reached out to him and said, hey, we're sorry, we would love if you came back to the set and this and that and did another movie. And I said that Johnny should be like, fuck you guys. I've already done what I've done and that's it. I guess he came out and said that he's not even going to go back if that's the case. So good for him. Because fuck that machine, Hollywood. It's just so rat-filled. Like, all those people are just fucking rats, you know? But anyways, if you guys in Hollywood need some comic relief from a short Mexican, what's good, man? I got a busy schedule, but I can make some time, dude. I guess I can make some time for you guys if you really needed me. But whatever, man. It's all good. They like me over there in Hollywood, so I can't talk too much shit about him. But, like, you guys screwed up big time. So we need to reel it in a little bit and figure out the truth before we fucking cancel one of the most famous actors of all time. By the way, I've been hearing a lot of people talk about Johnny Depp on podcasts and like trying to name his really good movies. And a lot of people like result to Pirates of the Caribbean, of course. And what else? Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, Alice in Wonderland, this and that. People are forgetting about the movie Sweeney Todd. Sweeney Todd has to be one of the most gruesome, darkest, quite frankly, the only musical film I'll ever watch. It's remarkable. It's such a good movie. And I love like horror films, goth shit, you know, like easily one of the best movies he's ever been in. That and Blow. Blow is a fantastic movie. Holy shit. But yeah, man, I mean, you can't trust these white bitches. For real. You really can't. They'll shit in your bed, dude. And it's the sad truth. Latina chicks, you know, I said, man, they'll stab you in your sleep. Quite frankly, I'd rather get stabbed. I would. I would rather get stabbed than come home and find a turd in my bed. Fucking Amber Heard, dude. I swear to God. Unbelievable. Can you believe these bitches, bro? I swear, cut. What else, dude? I went to Texas, but Texas was chill, man. Ain't too much to say about it. However, I'll end the episode like this. We could do a full circle back to hygiene, okay? When I was in Texas, I was in the middle of a conversation with some family members, and we were talking about washing our bed sheets. Now, here's the thing. One of the most important things in life is knowing yourself. And I was asked the question, how often do I wash my bed sheets? And I know myself. And I know that I can keep it 100. And I don't got to lie. What do I got to lie for? So I looked at them dead in the face and I said, quarterly? Yeah, I wash my sheets quarterly, dude. That's 4 times a year. And yo, I'm just dead ass serious. I'm a fucking guy, dude, who washes sheets that much, you know? And if I'm alone on that too, then fuck it, you know what I mean? So this was a conversation of like 8 people. Like 8 people heard me say quarterly, right? My girl's sitting next to me. She's all embarrassed because she sleeps in the same bed and shit. And oh my God, everyone couldn't believe it. My dad was laughing his ass off because of my delivery is on point, right? I'm like, quarterly. Everyone's like, what the fuck? You don't wash your sheets more than fucking 4 times a year? I'm like, for what? You know what I mean? And then I was like, and don't even get me started with the pillowcases because those about biannually. You know what I mean? Dude, oh my God. They couldn't fucking believe it. It was so funny. And the thing is, I don't gotta lie, you know? Like, that's the importance, dude. You gotta know yourself. You gotta own it, right? You got to have that unpopular opinion or that unpopular thing that you do. And mine just so happens to be that I don't wash my bed sheets that often. Okay. But here's the thing, dude. This is how I justified not washing my bed sheets that often, right? Is that I shower before I go to sleep. Okay. If I shower before I go to bed, pretty much every night, because I go home, I go to the gym, come back and shower, I'm clean. And I'm putting on clean clothes. Why am I getting my head thrown in the guillotine if I wash my sheets quarterly in a fiscal year? If I shower and put clean clothes on before I go to bed, I don't understand. What is the problem? That's like asking me how often do I wash my towels. I wash my towels once a month. You know, I'm just kidding. That's a fucking scene from New Girl. No, but for real though, dude. I mean, like, what are we talking about here, man? But if you think about that though for a second, like logically, that's my point is if, like, just like I said it 3 other times, if I go to bed and I shower before bed and I put on clean clothes 5 days a week, how often do you really need to wash your sheets? That's a genuine question. I'm curious. And 4 times a year isn't enough. Dude, I swear, man. I'm done. Ah, shit. Guys, last week I ended up recording like a 40-minute episode, but I fucking hated it. I was not there mentally. And we're going to have a guest in a couple weeks, so stick around for that. Until then, stay hard, stay fertile. Don't trust your doctors. I love you guys. See you next week. Later.